Welcome to the Raging Takes podcast with your hosts, Brian Dixon, Kai Zabo, and Dylan Peters.
What up, you turkeys? Welcome to episode 151 of the Raging Takes podcast. Today is Saturday, March 22nd, 2025. I'm your host, Brian Dixon. Joined as always by my co-hosts, Kai the Commissioner Zabo and Dylan Peters. Good morning.
Salutations.
Howdy.
Howdy.
I had someone say howdy to me the other day without me saying it first. It felt good.
You're starting a movement. Do you think that was because you did it on this podcast first?
Yes,
that person did it to you?
Yes, I believe I put it out there in the universe.
They recognized you and did it. That's awesome. I love the howdy movement. I'm a full support of that one. It's taking off way faster than the salutations movement has. Way faster.
There was a movement?
It's the syllables.
Yeah, I think there's too many syllables. All right, so on today's show, we just got some NFL news, and then we got the return of the spelling bee. We haven't done a spelling bee in a long time, so we're going to do a draft-themed spelling bee. Kai is going to be the host. Dylan and I are going to face off in the spelling bee. So there you go. There's the tease. Let's start off with the biggest news of the week, and it's the Bengals re-signing both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to contract extensions. Chase gets 4 years, $161 million, $112 million guaranteed. He's now the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, taking over that title from Myles Garrett. T. Higgins gets 4 years, $115 million, and he is now the highest paid wide receiver 2 in NFL history. They've combined for an average annual value of $69 million, which is $10 million higher than Hill and Waddle, and $12 million higher than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So this one's polarizing in the NFL community here. I think some people like this a lot, and some people are like, "What the hell are they doing?" Where do you fall on this, Kai?
I mean, obviously, I like it just from an offensive standpoint. You've pretty much guaranteed you're going to have a very nice offense for the next 4 years. But man, did you leave yourself enough money for the rest of the team? I don't know.
I think this solidifies that the Bengals are just going to have the same season they had last season.
Yeah.
It's like you had Higgins and you had Chase and no run game, really. No real offensive line. And you didn't win that many games. As a matter of fact, they won like 7 games? 9 games. They went 9-8. Okay. Do you think having the best offense in that division gives you the division win automatically?
No, but I think there's still a chance that this could work out. Well, first of all, Burrow was putting like a lot of pressure on the Bengals to sign both of them. And I saw Jordan Schultz said that if both of these hadn't gotten done, things could have potentially gotten interesting in regards to Burrow and Cincinnati. I don't know if I fully believe that like Burrow would have just been like, okay, demand a trade, get me the hell out of here. If like they just let T. Higgins walk, but you never know. Something could have gone awry. I think they kind of had to do this. I think this is just like a weird position that they specifically are in, that you just have to get both of these guys deals done. And then you just have to worry about like the defensive issues some other way. They have to hit on their draft picks. I would say they have to go majority defense, maybe like an offensive lineman or two, but majority defense, and just hope that you hit on defensive picks. Because if you do that, then it is possible that this could absolutely work out for the best for them. If they don't hit on draft picks and they're, the veterans that they already have play the same as they did last year or worse, then this probably won't work out. But at least you made Joe Burrow happy. You do have either the best or second best wide receiver in the league, and then you also have the best wide receiver 2 in the league. This isn't the worst scenario, even if you don't have a whole lot of money for your defense. They had Trey Hendrickson last year, and they were awful on defense. So maybe so it's like letting T walk and bringing Hendrickson back. That doesn't mean that that's a Band-Aid either. You just have the same defense still and also a worse offense. So I think I'm more on the side of this is a good thing for the Bengals than a bad thing, but they still have a lot of work to do in order to be able to really compete for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think I'm right. I'm with you there too, Brian. I mean, it's just like you almost got to play to your strengths almost. And what everyone knows is the Bengals had an offense that can win these kind of shootouts when their defense lets down sometimes. You know, it's like if they can figure out the defense even just the tiniest bit, this is a great move.
Yeah. They don't have a 7th-round pick because they sent it to the Bears for Khalil Herbert and then let him walk. So they have 6 draft picks. They handicapped themselves in the draft area too for a rental on a running back they didn't even retain. Bad decision to me. They're going to have to go a combination of offensive line and defensive line in these 6 picks. There's no other, you cannot justify drafting another skill position player when your defense is historically bad, especially in close games where Joe Burrow puts you up and then the defense puts you down again immediately. You literally, they have to hit, like Brian said, they have to hit on the draft. Sure, it's nice that Joe Burrow has a chance to win MVP next year, you know, throwing to 2 of the best receivers in the league, in my opinion. Guys that could probably go anywhere and get success. But yeah, dude, when you go up against a team like the Ravens, who's gonna give it to Derrick Henry 25 times and drain the clock and score at will, T. Higgins can't help you when Derrick Henry's on the field. You know, it's interesting way to build a football team. It's the most batshit crazy way we've seen a team build an NFL team since the Rams geared up for that Super Bowl win. Just throwing their fucking draft picks away and building up for one season.
I mean, that worked though. It's not the same exactly, but that did work. What was I going to say here? I had a point to make and I totally forgot now. It's okay. Jamar, the only thing that I have like a really big problem with is like they waited so long for the Jamar Chase deal, which you knew that they were going to at least get that deal done. And now he's the, $161 million man. You got to pay him more than Max Crosby and Myles Garrett. It's like you could have maybe saved yourself some money if you would have got this done sooner. But
yeah,
there are nuances that come with that type of shit too. So
yeah, true. And you know what? Hopefully it pays off for them because the salary cap increases every year. So this could just be a this season problem. And then the salary cap goes up $25 million next season. And then they can easily afford 2-3 other players. And we're not talking about this anymore. But for this specific season, it's going to be rough, I think.
Right now, where would you put them in the division?
Second. I'll put them second, but I think one playoff team comes out of the AFC North next year, and that's the Ravens. I don't think any of the other teams come out and make the playoffs.
Okay.
None of them have gotten better.
Yeah, I'm going to say second too, actually.
All right. Texans signed Derek Stingley Jr. to a 3-year, $90 million extension, $89 million guaranteed. I think that's kind of funny. Highest paid defensive back in NFL history. I don't have a lot to say here other than that this is a great deal. Obviously, you got to lock him up. They have one of the best cornerback duos in the entire NFL. So I do think that $90 million with $89 million guaranteed is very funny.
So $1 million not guaranteed.
Maybe it's like a contract stipulation with like
there's got to be something
contract, something weird. But a lot of people are saying that this deal came too early, and I disagree. They're like, there's 2 more years on his rookie contract. How can you extend this guy? And to me, I'm like, this is what the Bengals should have did with Jamar Chase. This is what they should have done and paid him a year early for a long deal that locks you in 2 years. It's going to be a bargain. You're going to be like, oh wow. So in 2 seasons, Derek Stingley Jr. will be like the 12th highest paid defensive back, and then this will have been look like a steal for them.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to lock up your studs immediately, and that's what he is. I mean, like 5 interceptions, 18 passes defense this year alone, and then last season he had 13 and 5, and that was with 11 games only.
13 passes deflected, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, that's 13 and 5.
Dude,
he's also first team AP this year too.
Like here, I'll bring this up. So So Patrick Surtain, he got what was it? It was like earlier this year, right? Pat Surtain got a fucking he got the 4-year, $96 million contract.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's the same contract, and they signed him a couple years ago. You know,
yeah,
it looks like a deal because we can all agree that he's better. That Pat Surtain Jr. is better. You know,
not by a lot, I would say.
Oh, he's Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, Stingley's still really good though. I think they're both like in the same tier of corner.
Stingley's slightly younger too, right?
Probably by like a year or two. Yeah, I don't know actually. Well, Stingley is 23. How old is Pat Surtain? He got drafted what 2021. He's 24.
Yeah, so Pat Surtain now is a better value than Derek Stingley Jr. Got him for cheaper because you signed him earlier. It's the same thing that they're doing with Stingley, in my opinion. It's a great idea. It's a Madden move.
Yep.
That's what I would do in Madden, you know?
All right, next up, let's get a little update on the Eagles, on Kai's team. They reworked Lane Johnson's contract to add $8 million over the next 2 seasons and an additional $30 million in guarantees. And then Brandon Graham officially retires as the longest tenured Eagle in franchise history and a 2-time Super Bowl champion. So Kai, go ahead. Tell us about these moves here.
I mean, they're perfectly fine. I mean, adding money to your salary cap, who can ever complain about that? And yeah, Brandon Graham, thank you, brother. Rest easy.
Who can complain about adding money to your salary cap? I think that's a bad thing normally, isn't it?
I meant like freeing it up.
I mean, did they though?
They didn't free it up. They added more money to it.
They added more money. They added $8 million.
They're rewarding Lane Johnson for being a nice guy and helping them win a Super Bowl. Is how I took it. Which is fine.
I completely misread how you read it.
So the Eagles have 7 draft picks to themselves and have 5 compensatory draft picks. They have 12 draft picks in this draft class. They are going to either select 12 players or they are going to package a bunch of picks to move up and get the players that they want. And Howie Roseman with 12 picks, fuck me running, dude.
Right.
What the fuck is that about? How do we allow the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl, pay Saquon Barkley, pay Lane Johnson, have all of this shit going on, and have 12 draft picks?
It's crazy. Yeah, they do it every year.
Yeah, it's unfortunately a great model of success for them. Howie Roseman is a fantastic GM, unfortunately. And they're and honestly, if they hit on all those draft picks, let's say they keep all those draft picks, hit on all of them, they can afford to like give Lane Johnson more money and like Saquon more money for no good reason other than they just like the guys and they help them win a championship. It's like here's a reward for your hard work.
Yeah,
it works for him. I'll give him that. It works for him.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're paying Lane Johnson extra money, you got to pay him. He's one of the best tackles in the league.
Brandon Cooks signs a 2-year deal to return to the Saints worth $13 million. This is perfectly fine. Yeah. I don't mind this. He played for the abysmal Cowboys last year, but I thought he had like some sparks every once in a while.
He's been on so many teams.
I know, and this is the team that drafted him too, so it's kind of like a nice little full circle moment, I guess. They could definitely use his services. So now he joins Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave, who I assume will both be ready at the start. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah. Juwan Johnson at tight end still, not a bad tight end option. They also have Taysom Hill floating around there, obviously. Kamara. If Derek Carr can do anything next year, you never know. The Saints could be okay. We'll see.
Yeah, it is a full circle moment for Brandon Cooks. I feel he's one of the most traded players, and he's back to the team that drafted him. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Remind me who they hired as head coach again. I'm completely drawing a blank.
It was Kellen Moore.
Oh, Kellen Moore, right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. How did Kai not remember that immediately? Okay, yeah. I mean, that could work. It could work. We'll see.
It could work. I mean, that is a
We'll see. It could work on paper.
It's a decent receiver core for Derek Carr to have in a new scheme. You got a guy who's learned many schemes, by the way, and he played for Kellen Moore, did he not, in Dallas?
Yes. Yeah. Wait. How many years did Kellen Moore coach for the Eagles?
He was just like 2, right?
Yeah, it was
I think
like
Brandon Cooks was
one
only
or two.
there for 2 though, so maybe not. They may have missed each other.
Maybe. So Brandon Cooks has a history of picking up new schemes fairly quickly, and then you got guys there that are Rashid Shaheed. He's useful in any scheme, deep threat, and then Chris Olave. Yet to be seen the full potential of a Chris Olave, but with the right coaching, the right people around him.
I believe in his talent.
This could be a very good receiving core for the NFL. Very frustrating for fantasy.
Could even be a decent offense with Kellen Moore.
Right. What'd you say?
I say it could definitely be a decent offense with Kellen Moore, very offensive-minded head coach.
It just all depends on Carr.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they got 3 number 2s out there. Rashid Shaheed is like a flex 3 kind of a slot guy, in my opinion, but plays on the perimeter, big plays, Who knows how sustainable that is, especially with his injury. But I don't know. How do you guys feel? Do you feel like that is actually, when it has to do with fantasy, do you think you have any usable players there outside of a flex spot?
I think Olave is still perfectly usable.
Yeah.
And I think he has I don't think he's fully reached his potential, but I do think he could be a wide receiver 1. I think he has that ceiling for sure. I think Shaheed is definitely the wide receiver 2 here. I don't think Cooks is a wide receiver 2 anymore. I think he's perfectly fine as a wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's like, this isn't like 2017 Brandon Cooks they're signing here. This is a nice player still, but I think it's still a nice little pecking order of Olave 1, Shaheed 2, and Cooks 3.
I think Shaheed is still a nice flex matchup in fantasy on certain weeks as well.
Oh, yeah. If he comes back healthy, dude, in our dynasty league, he is in my flex, because I don't want to feel dumb anymore when I see that he had a 65-yard touchdown to start the game.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. A new proposed rule change by the Lions would use regular season records as the guiding principle instead of divisional championships. Do we like this potential change? So basically what this means is the top 4 seeds right now are all the division winners. If this rule were in effect this season, instead of the Vikings being the 5 seed, they would have been the 3 seed, and the Packers would have been the 5 seed instead of the 7 seed. So basically the Packers and the Vikings both had records that were better than like some of the divisional winners. They would have been above those divisional winners, is basically what this means. Kind of similar to what the NBA does. I like this personally.
It would have been just a reseeding of the teams. No teams would have been put in and left out. This is just, they would have been the 1 seed in both categories, by the way. So in both sets of rules. But I would take more consideration to this if they didn't just get trounced by a wildcard team in the playoffs as the 1 seed.
I didn't read it as that, as like, oh, well, with this, we would have lost. We wouldn't have had to play the Commanders. I didn't read it like that. I just read it as like, I don't know. This just makes more sense. Because to me, so Washington made the playoffs with a losing record like in 2020 or whatever with their 4th string quarterback, and they had a home playoff game. Something they didn't deserve to have, I would say, at like 8-9 or whatever they were that year, 7-9. Losing record, you have a home playoff game. That just doesn't fly, and that's happened a few times over the last like 20 years. Like the Seahawks had a home game one time when they were like 7-9 or something like that. I think the Panthers did as well. It just makes more sense to do it this way. And then that 7-9 team being like the 7 seed would have to go play like, the ones. I don't know. I personally like this better. I liked it better when the NBA did something similar to this too, because divisions just really don't fucking matter at all in that sport. They matter a little bit more in football, but
that's what I was going to ask. If you do a rule change like this, I mean, divisions don't mean anything anymore, right?
They do, because if you win, you're still guaranteed a playoff spot.
Okay.
But would that be considered, if we're going to go by division record, right? Not go by division record. What's the tiebreaker if you both finish 13-4? Is it division record? Because that makes no sense.
And then also, what I was wondering too is,
what?
I'm saying if 2 teams finish 13-4, how do you seed those teams? Would you go by division record?
I guess I think so. I don't see why that would change. Why would that change?
Because divisions don't matter. The
and
division
then
record shouldn't
Divisions
matter then.
do matter. If you win the division, you guaranteed a playoff spot.
I
They
know,
do
but-
still matter.
But then what's the point of
would
going by
not have
regular
that.
season records? Because like, what if you have like the NFC South where they're all like 8-win, 7-win teams, and then there's actually 7 teams outside of that division that can make it into the playoffs with their regular season record.
That would be leaving out an entire division.
That's what
out
I'm
of the
saying.
playoff.
Yeah, because like that's what this rule change sounds like. If you're just going by regular season records, what if there's a division that's so bad?
They would still make the playoffs. They would just be the lowest seed. You win the division, you still make the playoffs, but you would just be the 7th seed if you were a
That's
really
not what
bad
this
record.
says, though. That's not what this says.
What does it
It
say?
says the 7 best records in the conference.
Yeah, that's how I'm reading it.
That's not how I read it. No, I read it as if you win the division, you still make the playoffs, but
And
it's
then
just a
it goes
reseeding
by-
of it.
Okay, and then it goes
So,
by
for
regular
instance,
season.
this year it would have been like the Lions 1, Eagles 2, Vikings 3, and then I don't know, I can't remember who. Probably the Bucks 4. I don't remember after that, but the Vikings would have been 3. The Eagles would have still been 2. You know what I'm talking about? And then the Buccaneers would have made the
Okay.
playoffs. They would just be lower than the Vikings.
That makes sense.
And the
Yes.
same with whoever else I'm forgetting.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
so it'd
still
been-
the same format of how teams are selected, but then the seeding would just be based.
It's just the seeding
Got
is
it.
different.
Okay, got it.
That's just that would be
It's like the
interesting.
NBA. It's like the NBA. You guys don't watch basketball? It's like the NBA. The NBA does this.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, in that
Yeah.
aspect and understanding it more, it's a cool idea. I could be talked into it.
It just makes more sense, in my opinion.
I like
but-
the traditional division winners get a home game format.
Okay.
Mm.
I think
No,
I think
No wrong answer here. It's just,
Yeah.
preference here.
that's like saying you won. Let's just say like this year, the Lions, Eagles, Vikings, and Packers would have been the Lions, Eagles, Vikings, Commanders, Packers would have been the top 5 seeds. And that would have left out 2 divisional winners to not get home games at all. Even though they won 10 games in the season, they would get no home games because they would be the 6 and the 7 seed. So to me, that
Yeah.
just is not fair.
Well, this year's NFC was a little bit of an outlier because there was just a shit ton of like good teams in like 2 of the divisions, basically. That's not like that every single.
No, not necessarily. That would have just left the Bucks and the Falcons. I mean, the Bucks and the Rams to be
Mhm.
the 6 and 7 seed, and get away games against teams that came in 3rd place or 2nd place in their respective divisions.
Mhm.
I don't know.
This, by the way, I think the Chargers tried doing this last year and they got like no traction. So this probably isn't
Yeah.
going to pass. But it's just like it's a fun thought process.
Yeah.
Fun thought exercise. I personally like this. I'm not like diehard fighting for it. If it didn't get passed, it's it's the same thing. Honestly, it's the playoffs are the playoffs no matter what. I just do think that this makes sense, and I thought it made more sense when the NBA did it. NBA
think
is
it's-
a little differently than the NFL, though.
I think historically they added the 7th playoffs seed to be able to be like, hey, look, every year we talk about 2 teams, 1 team being left out of the playoffs with 10 wins, something like that. Some team gets left out, so they added that extra seed. And the last couple of years, it's kind of proven that there's only about 7 playoff-worthy teams in each conference anyways. Like, that's what it shakes out to, 6, sometimes 7. So I liked that move. I don't know about anything else. That could leave 3 teams in the same division getting home games during the playoffs.
I mean, during the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah, like the Ravens, like on any given year, like let's just say 2023, the AFC North.
I mean,
had
how often
3
does the
playoff
5
teams.
seed get a home playoff game? That would mean the 6 and the 7 team would have to keep winning.
Well,
as
I think
well.
he's
They would-
talking about with this new format.
Yeah,
I know, but it would be like it would still be like a 5. Like it's a different format, but it's still the same science. Like the 5 seed is still going to be the 5 seed. So like, how often does a 5 seed get a home playoff game in the playoffs? Very, very rarely. They would have to play like the 6 or 7 seed in the
Mhm.
NFC Championship game. Is that going to
Yeah.
happen? Probably not.
Well, with that new format, possibly.
That would mean
Possibly.
something like the Rams would have had to beat both the Eagles and the
Well-
Lions in order for that to happen.
Well, he's saying with that new format, there's the possibility that a division winner could actually not get a home playoff game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point, Kai. I know.
The whole point of the playoffs for the NFL, though, is for these teams that make the playoffs to get a cut of that ticket revenue, of the TV revenue, of everything in their stadium revenue. And if you take a home game from, let's just say, the Texans and put them playing like, the 3 seed or the 4 seed, that type of thing, and they're playing away instead of playing at home, that just shifts the dynamic, and the owners would never vote to take money out of their own pockets, right?
Yeah, I didn't think about that part too, because like in the NBA, you have a 7-game playoff series, so you're still getting home games in that, where the NFL is not. It's a 1 game and one and done. So yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. I didn't think about that. Which is probably one of the reasons why it's not going to pass, by the way. I'm sure that's why it wasn't really popular when the Chargers put it up for a vote too. So, all right. Next up, here's a fun signing. Jameis Winston signs with the Giants, 2 years, $8 million. I think that the internet and us in our group chat were really excited about this at first. 2 years, $8 million tells me he's not going to be the starter. That's not starter quarterback money. They're basically told him he might start some games, but he's not going to like finish the season as the starter. I don't think. I think the Giants will draft a quarterback, whether it's in the first round or later. I think they'll probably have that quarterback play a majority of games. I personally think, or maybe they're still in on Rodgers and Russell Wilson too. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But 2 years, $8 million is not starting quarterback money.
No,
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very good backup safety net money.
Sure.
Like for the team, just
for
invest
sure.
$4 million in one season and into your backup quarterback who could, let's be honest, end up playing a good chunk of the games.
Yeah.
That could happen.
He could.
And it could be good.
Yeah.
Well, it could be bad too.
Yeah.
It could be good for Malik Neighbors' fantasy numbers, though. That would be, that's very exciting to think about. But I'm just not, until I see it on the field, until I see them name him like starting quarterback, I'm going to be wary about this. It definitely feels like they could just turn around and draft like Shedeur Sanders or like trade down and get like Jackson Dart or something like that. And then Jameis is just right back to the role of like the exciting quarterback 2 what if scenario. So hopefully I would love if he starts. I hope he's the starting.
It's not a bad backup situation. It's honestly, it's pretty good, honestly, in my opinion.
You have a chance to win every single game if Jameis Winston starts, but you also have a chance to be blown out by 35 points every time he starts. So it's like, it's such a wide range of emotion. But really, when you're fielding a team with Jameis Winston as your starting quarterback, you could beat any team that day. You could. Yeah. You might get 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, Jameis, or 175 yards, 5 interceptions. Yes.
Jameis.
Yes.
And if you get the 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, Jameis, which we've seen this man throw for 5,000 yards. And let me tell you something right now. The New York Giants, right? If you get a man to throw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns in your city, your whole entire city would explode. Just like Chicago. If a quarterback came in and had that kind of production, it would explode. And nobody's given Jameis a chance to even start a whole season. And forever, dude. I would like to see a coach just be like, Jameis, go out there, sling it. Brian Daboll should.
He should. I don't know if he's going to have the patience for him or not, but Jameis is like if Russian roulette was a football player, basically. You just never really know what you're going to get.
Perfect, yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for the possibility of him being QB1 for the Giants. I'm not buying into it yet.
It's going to be an exciting week in fantasy when he starts.
All right, let's get to Rodgers watch here. At first, I had this as Rodgers and Russell Wilson watch. Not a whole lot of Russell Wilson news this week. Kind of quiet on the Russ front. So I guess we'll just sit back and wait for him to make some moves. Rodgers, though, always the center of attention. Spent about 6 hours at the Steelers training facility yesterday on Friday, meeting with coaches. It was reportedly a positive visit, and the two sides will stay in touch. Cameron Hayward somewhere shaking his fist in rage at this. Did you guys see that? Where he was like, if you want to be a Steeler, just come be a Steeler. If not, kick rocks type of shit. That's not his exact quote, but he was basically like, make up your fucking mind if you want to play for us type shit. That's not how Aaron Rodgers rolls, brother. Yeah. You just let this goofball do his fucking thing, all right? And maybe Cameron Hayward knows that. And he's trying to scare him away, or he's like, I really don't want this goofball as my starting quarterback. Maybe
really?
He's trying to like pull some strings. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, dude. Like, look, what? Let's talk about this for a second. If you're the Steelers, okay. Hey, by the way, have had a quarterback that didn't really have that many weapons last year in Russell Wilson, and he still did good enough to win you 10 games. And the year before that, they had, I believe the year before that was not Kenny Pickett, was it?
I believe it was Kenny Pickett.
It was
another team that went
Mason Rudolph
to the playoffs with Kenny Pickett, dude.
I don't think they did they?
Yeah, they did. They were the worst 7 seed ever. We talked about it. I was
Mason Rudolph started that playoff game, did he not?
Yeah, he did, but that was the combination.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't think Pickett was really much to do about that.
But that's still, you know what I mean, like sub-level. And now you've added DK Metcalf, right? And now you have George Pickens, DK Metcalf, dude. It's already a mess in Pittsburgh with those 2 receivers. Why not get them a guy that's going to make it even more of a mess?
Yeah, true, I guess. I mean, Rodgers is the best quarterback option available still, in my personal opinion. I think I'd rather have him than Wilson, even with all the drama. Russ is just a nothing burger for me. Like Dylan said, he did do good enough to win them 10 games last year, and I guess they'd probably still have a chance to make the playoffs if Russ came back, but I think they have a higher ceiling with Rodgers. Rodgers will obviously do something to completely destroy this franchise at some point in the season. We don't know it yet, but at this point, we're just going to pretend like that's not going to happen, even though it's guaranteed it's going to happen at some point.
Kind of feel like Pittsburgh is almost like immune to like a organizational meltdown, even with Aaron Rodgers in house. I feel like they could withstand it.
Nobody can withstand that heat, brother. It's like the sun barreling for you, inevitable.
I think if there's a quarterback that can mitigate 2 egos, boom, DK Metcalf, George Pickens. If there's a guy that has the power to just not to make them not the face of the franchise or the big drama makers, it's Aaron Rodgers.
But who's going to do that? Who's going to do that for him, though? Are they just going to do it to each other?
No, dude. Aaron Rodgers is going to do it for himself. He's been doing that his whole career.
No, he's not.
He is. He's been doing that for years. He just did it in New York too. And he stopped
himself from being a diva in New York.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he's impervious to this. I think you're right, though, Brian. I feel 8 years.
Russ is safer. Rodgers with the higher ceiling, though. I did talk to a few Steelers fans yesterday, though, and they said they want Russ instead. So I mean, yeah,
that's no fun.
I mean, it's no fun, but man, I don't know if they're ready for Rodgers at the same time, like the fan base.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that might be a tough city to play for if you want to.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very
struggle.
It's a very diehard fan base.
It's not like 7 games of the season last year, though. Rodgers, I thought was like decent. Like his last game of the year was really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can talk myself into Aaron Rodgers again this year. I think I can. Not as hard as I was last year. I think we were all really high on the Jets last year. I won't be as high on whatever team he goes to this year, but I can still see the vision with Rodgers. I cannot see the vision with Russell Wilson at all. At all.
That's fair.
No. No deals close to this time per Schefter with the Steelers, so we'll see how that goes. Per Tom Pelissero, the Steelers are comfortable starting Mason Rudolph if they have to in 2025. That's a little crazy to me, but sure. I don't know if I believe that either. That might just be like a smokescreen. I don't know. Vikings are reportedly not pursuing Rodgers at this time and have rejected multiple trade calls centered on JJ McCarthy. So it seems like they're pretty locked in on keeping McCarthy and having him be quarterback 1. They haven't completely ruled out Aaron Rodgers yet, the Vikings, but for now they're just like kind of like staying away and not really interested. So let's say something falls through with the Steelers and he doesn't want to go to the Giants. I could see the Vikings kind of picking back up where they left off. Those seem to be the only 3 teams really even remotely interested in his services, though. The Giants, the Steelers, and the Vikings. So now that Jameis is at the Giants, see what they do in the draft. The Vikings saying they're not really interested at this time. It seems like this is a pretty open lane for Rodgers to sign with the Steelers. I kind of expect it within the next couple of weeks. He wants to take his time, quote unquote, whatever, he's doing his thing. But yeah, this just seems like the most logical thing is that they just sign Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see. By the way, free agent contest update. nobody signed on that list still since that first day. Nobody. So
Well,
we'll just see. We're just gonna keep it going until all 15 names are off the board.
How many names we got left?
Like 9, I want to say, something like that. I don't have it up right now, but there's still quite a few. There's like Rodgers, Russ, Tyler Lockett, Dobbins, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs. So there's still quite a few names on the list. So, by the way, Stephon Diggs visiting the Patriots this week. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I didn't, but I think that's a perfect place for him to go.
Yeah, I mean they've been looking for a wide receiver desperately for a long ass time now. So I that's not their first choice, obviously, but I could see that working. And then he gets to play the Bills twice a year too, so that'd be fun. We'll see if that gets finalized. Last thing before we move on to the spelling bee, season 2 of Netflix's Quarterback will air in July. It's going to feature Burrow, Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff. Are you guys going to watch?
I'll probably tune in. Yeah, I mean, we saw Kirk Cousins in the last season, but I like Joe Burrow.
I will definitely watch this. I thought quarterback was good. I thought wide receiver was great. The one they did last year where it was like Amon-Ra, Debo, Kittle, Devontae, I want to say, and then somebody else.
I thought that
was it Kelsey. I thought that was fantastic. I thought that was amazing. I'm excited for season 2 at quarterback. I'll definitely be watching that. I think this is a pretty decent little crew here. Cousins I could do without. We've already kind of seen him. I guess we get more Julie Cousins, who is a delight. Joe Burrow and Jared Goff, I love. I'm definitely interested in seeing some behind the scenes footage of them, especially with how their seasons went last year too. Like Goff's was so successful, yeah, and Burrow's was so like up and down. We're gonna get a kind of like a whole different array. I do like that the Falcons have had a quarterback on this show twice, and it's been the weakest option both times. I think that's hilarious. I don't know, just 2 guys that also just didn't finish the season. So I think that's pretty funny too. Just a nice little theme. We should just add the Falcons quarterback every single year.
Michael Penix next season.
Yeah, I want Penix to do well though, so maybe we shouldn't do that. Okay.
I don't know why Cousins is doing this, considering his rocky at best, like what's going on in Atlanta right now with him with all that guaranteed money, and he's wanting to trade.
Well, if it's airing this July, it was last season. So this was like, he probably agreed to this. He may have agreed to this before they even drafted Penix.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
They put those together fast. They put those shows together fast.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It could have been airing since February, March, like that right now.
Maybe potentially.
Yeah, like preseason. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Let's get to the spelling bee, Kai.
All right.
Take over.
All right, spelling bee. So today I have 10 names, all draft prospects from this year's class, and also we have a bonus name at the end, which will be worth 2 points. Each of these names are worth 1 point. We have 3 lifelines. You can use them at any time, even during the bonus one at the end if you decide to keep one. The 3 lifelines are: you can steal the question away from someone if you think you know it before they get a chance to answer. The second one is, how many letters are in the name? I will reveal to you how many letters are in the name I want you to spell. And then the third one is, I'll give you half of that name.
Okay.
Okay, and then just like last time, we're going to decide the order by a coin flip, but I got a generator up now. Dylan, you get to call this time.
Tails.
Heads.
I call for a new coin flip generator because Tails has failed twice and Tails never fails.
That's true, Kai. What is this?
It says one on Google. I don't know.
Okay.
Secretly, it's a heads coin flip simulator.
Just heads.
Heads never deads.
All right then. So Brian's gonna go first, and Brian, your first name is gonna be Isaac Taslaw. Just Taslaw.
Taslaw. Taslaw. Taislau?
Incorrect.
Damn.
Do we have to spell the entire name?
No, just the last name. Taslaw.
Tacelaw?
Incorrect. It is Teslaa.
Oh, Tesla. Yeah. Okay.
It's pronounced Taslaw though.
Taslaw. Okay. There's like 4 ways I could have spelled that in my head, and I was like, which road to go down here.
Yeah. All right, so no points awarded on that one. Second name.
No shit.
Second name. This is going to be the full name. This one is Moliki Matavao.
Oh my god. We might. This might be a 0-0 tie at the end of this, Dylan.
All right. It's my turn.
Yes, Moliki Matavao.
All right. What were the lifelines again?
So you have a steal. How many letters and half of the name?
I will not be stealing this one, by the way.
In this circumstance, half of the name is.
You could choose first or last. Yeah.
Okay, so.
But that's still so hard. Is it even worth
it? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. The pronunciation is what again?
Moliki Matavao.
Will you please give me the first name spelling?
Oh wow, I would have done the last.
Oh, half?
Yeah.
Okay, it's let's see. Moli.
You said Moliki, bro.
So Kai is giving you the half of the first name, and you want half of the entire name, which would be the first
you said
name.
the first.
This is the misunderstanding
name
that we're going through right here.
You said you would give me the first or the last name. That's half of the name.
Oh, I meant like half of first or last, but okay.
You didn't specify, dude.
Okay.
He did not specify.
All right, so Moliki. Now give me
just the same with just Matavau.
Incorrect.
Okay.
So just Matavao, Brian, since Dylan got it spelled already.
Matavao. This is such a goofy name that I can't even like register what Dylan even just said. So like I may even say the same thing as him, or I may not even get the same letters at all. Matavao. This isn't even like a word in my brain that's like popping up. Matavao. I'll say Matavao.
That is correct.
Wow.
Oh.
All right, 1 point for Brian.
Oh no. Come on now.
All right, so third name, and Brian's gonna.
That half of the name fucked you so bad because I was
yeah,
not
that's it can happen. Yeah. All right, third name, Brian, your turn. Nick Emenworry, just Emenworry.
Emenworry?
Safety from South Carolina.
I would like to steal.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is this just the last name?
Yes. Emenworry.
Emmanwori.
That is correct. Good steal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so Dylan, your only lifeline left is how many letters?
I don't give a fuck.
Do you know that player, or did you just think that you could get that one?
I literally saw that on social media like 2 weeks ago that he would be a plus.
Nice.
But
Okay.
Well done.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you.
Dylan, you're up next. This name is Armand Membu.
Oh man, we just talked about this fucking guy last week.
Full name?
Full name.
ARMANDMEMBOU.
That is correct.
Nice.
You almost messed up on the first name, but I let it slide. Yeah.
I was sleeping at the wheel there. I should have stole that one.
Yeah. All right. 2-1, Dylan. Name number 4, Brian. It is your. Name number 5 actually is your turn. Oh, wait. I gotta get the pronunciation on this one again. This one's nuts. All right.
Oh no.
JT Tui Moloo.
Tui Moloo.
Yeah. You don't have to spell JT, obviously. Tui Moloo.
Yeah. We'll start with JT as the first name. Just kidding. Can you repeat it one more time?
Tui Moloo.
TUIMOLO''O. Something like that.
Incorrect.
Damn.
What's my last lifeline?
How many letters?
That doesn't help me at all. So what is it? What's the last name pronunciation again?
Tui Maloo.
TUIMO apostrophe MO apostrophe O.
Incorrect. Brian, you were so close. You were so close. Yeah.
What did I get wrong?
Well, you added the apostrophe and then you just jacked it up at the end, but it's TUIMOLOAU.
I mean, that wasn't that close.
He would have never got that. He didn't even say AU.
Well, I know, but he had the LO. He was like, he had the LO.
I wasn't gonna say. I was thinking of like the guy in the Texans, the Tuyo, or that guy. I can't think of his name. Right. That's how I was thinking of. That's why I added the apostrophe.
Polynesian names are fun.
What is Marcus Tuiasosopo?
No, it's not Tuiasosopo. What is that guy's name? I can't think of it right now.
Henry To'o.
Yeah, 2020.
Oh yeah, sounds like a Pokemon.
It's like 202, yeah, something like that.
All right, score is still 2-1, Dylan. We are on to
how many people are left, or how many names are left?
We're on name number 6, so 1, 2,
5 more, including this one.
Okay.
Well, then we got the bonus at the end. All right. So Dylan, your next name is Carson Swessinger. Just Swessinger. Schwessinger.
SCHW. ESINGER.
That's correct.
Nice.
German. All right. 3-1, Dylan. Name number 7. Brian, it is your turn. Jonah Savainaya. Savainaya.
Savainaya.
Dude, it's not even an English lexicon, this name. It's
repeat it for me again. Repeat it for me again.
Savainaya.
Savainaya. How many letters?
All right, Brian is using how many letters? And 10.
10? Give me half of it. Give me the first half.
All right, Savainaya, just a half. SAVAI.
SAVAI?
Yeah. SAVAI.
SAVAI. ANAIA?
Oh my god. Incorrect.
Oh my god.
so SAVAI. NIYAH.
Incorrect.
Is it I instead of A?
Yeah, there's another I. Savainaya. SAVAIINAEA.
Oh, I didn't get the E either. You keep acting like I'm so close on this. I'm like 4 off every time. Like, oh, if you would have just got like 6 other syllables.
It just sounds close.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to put this out there. What was the last part of that? How many? What was? How did you spell that?
SAVAIINAEA.
That's too many vowels put together, but
way
whatever.
too many.
Yeah.
Way too many.
That's
well, it's not English. It doesn't follow the rule.
It's not English, dude. I speak only English. I don't know if you knew that.
English is my second language.
All right. So Dylan has no lifelines. Brian still has a steal, and
hey, I still have how many letters? I still have how many
that's right. Dylan has how many letters?
And steal.
You have steal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So name number 8. It's still 3-1. Dylan's turn now. Dylan, your name is Tommy Aking Basote.
I will not be stealing.
Just the last name?
Yes, Aking Basote.
Okay. Aking Basote?
Mm-hmm.
A King Basote.
A king
That's what you
basote.
said.
A king basote.
AKINGBOUTSE.
Incorrect. Brian. A king
Repeat it for
basote.
me.
A king
A king
basote.
basote.
Yeah.
A king basote. A king basote. IKENG BISOTA.
Incorrect.
Damn. Was I close at all?
No.
Okay.
All right. So a king basote is AKINGBESOTE.
Okay.
So I got that right, except for a fucking E. I got an A instead of an E or whatever.
Yeah, you were really close.
Dang, that's tough.
I like when I just wing it and it works.
Yeah. All right. Name number 9, Brian. Princely Human Milan.
Ugh.
Human Milan. You don't got to spell Princely.
Princely Kevin Nealon, is that what you said?
Human Milan.
Human Nealon.
Milan.
Milan. Human Milan.
This guy was absolutely one
I
of
hate
Kai's
this
best
name.
pass rushers the first year of the
Ole Miss.
SEC
Yeah.
dynasty.
Ole Miss.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Human Milan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll say UMEN MEALON.
Incorrect.
I don't know.
Human
Milan.
Human Milan.
UMEN
Incorrect.
Oh, that sounded right though.
Well, you said UMEN at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
UMAN. Everything else was correct.
Mm.
UMANMIELEN. Yeah, you got one letter incorrect. That's crazy.
That's twice in a row now.
Yeah. All right.
This is Dylan's, right?
Yeah,
I will be stealing this, by the way.
You can use it on
Whatever.
the bonus. You can use it
It's-
on the bonus too, by the way.
But the bonus, I assume the bonus is us like buzzing in, right? Or is it one word each? What is it? You said you only have one, right? How whose turn would it be?
Oh yeah,
if it
we are
was
gonna
only
buzz
one
in.
question?
That's true. You're right.
So I'll steal this one.
Okay.
This is Brian's.
So the name is.
Wait, does that mean I get 2 cracks at it? Does I get my turn too, or how does that work?
No, I get a crack
I just
after
get
you
I
do.
just get
You
I just
get
get the
to go
first crack. Got it.
Yeah. Or you cannot call steal until you hear it.
Yeah, that's
But
true
then
too.
then I legitimately just can't. I can't use it then.
No, you could
Sorry,
use it this round. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I
Alright.
can't use it after this round, though, is what I'm saying. So I don't want to leave it on the table.
All right. So the name, Oluwafemi Oladejo.
Never mind, Dylan. You can have it. I'm just kidding. Say it again.
Oluwafemi Oladejo.
Is this first and last?
Yes.
Goodness gracious. Oluwafemi?
Yep.
Oluwafemi. ULUAFEMI. And then what's the last one?
Oladejo.
Oladejo. Did I even get the first name right? Oladejo.
No.
I failed it. I fail. I don't know.
Okay.
Brutal
Say it
name.
again. Say it again.
Oluwafemi Oladejo.
That's crazy. What position is this guy?
Linebacker.
Classic.
3 guys
So-
from UCLA on this list, by the way, too. They all got crazy
Really?
names. Yeah.
All right. Tell me how many letters is in the whole name? Is that what you're gonna tell me? Or just first and
Yeah.
last, brother?
First or
No,
last, pick one.
Oh, interesting.
How many letters in the first name?
9.
Ooh. I was thinking like 7.
All right. Alua. What is it?
Alua Femi.
OLU. A. FEIMA.
Incorrect.
Or E?
Incorrect.
I don't know, dude.
You're getting there. All right. So Alua Femi, OLUWAFEMI, and then Oladejo is OLADEJO.
I have some serious criticism for next spelling bee we do. Only one part of the hard fucking names, Kai.
Well, you're the only one who hasn't actually been the host before, I think. So I think you should just do it next, and me and Kai will do it.
All right.
Okay.
Bonus round. So Brian could still steal, Brian can still somehow tie this.
I could tie it. Yeah.
And then I would have to come up with another. I would have to find a backup name.
Why would he be able to tie?
Because this is worth 2 points.
This one's worth 2 points.
You didn't say that.
He did say that. He did say that.
I did say that.
Open your freaking ears, dude.
Maybe he's a meek talker.
And then
he is a meek talker.
This one is. I'm not a meek talker. Fuck you. This is a bonus round, and you guys are gonna buzz in for this one. So give me a buzz in sound.
I'll do Daddy Chill.
Daddy Chill.
Okay.
Wrong.
All right. Last name. It's just gonna be the last name. Oh, I gotta get the pronunciation again. This one was nuts too. Donovan Ezaraku.
Daddy Chill.
Ezaraku.
Yes.
Say that again.
Ezaraku.
Ezaraku. Say it again. Say it one more time.
Ezaraku.
Ezaraku. He said Ezaraku that time. Ezaraku.
Ezaraku. Well, I'm saying it faster.
We'll go EZ. AIRAKU.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
All right. Give me a chance. Ezaraku.
Mm-hmm.
EZIRAKU.
Incorrect.
You
you guys were getting close, though. Yeah. EZEIRUAKU.
Oh, I was off by like one letter.
I know. It was,
dude.
Fuck.
We need to start really maybe thinking about adding more vowels to our attempts.
Adding more vowels to our what?
Like when you think you're spelling it right, put another vowel in there somewhere randomly, and maybe you'll be right.
Yeah,
I know. I tried doing that a couple of times, and I failed miserably doing it. But I would have failed if I didn't add the extra vowel too. So the extra vowel actually made me feel better. Okay, that was fun. I hope that was somewhat entertaining. That was a very low scoring spelling bee. That one was hard.
Yeah,
it was hard.
There weren't many names this year, but there were a lot of hard ones.
Yeah. That's okay. As long as it wasn't 0-0. When Guy first started, I'm like, oh, this legit might be a 0-0 ball game here, folks.
I kind of thought the same. I kind of thought the same too when I was getting this list up. I was like, oh man, I hope they can get some of these right. Because I was looking at them, I was like, oh fuck.
My strategy was to use my two useful lifelines early on easy names to get points.
Honestly, I fell asleep at the wheel. I should have stole Armin Mimbao immediately because that was the only one of the entire list that I actually absolutely knew. I should have done it. I wasn't thinking.
Well, it's Membu. It's weird. It looks like it's Membao, but
yeah. But I've seen that's the one name of all the ones that you said that I've seen several times written down. So, okay. That's it for us then. We'll be back next weekend. As always, you can find us at Raging Takes, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. You can email us ragingtakes@gmail.com. I'm at Montana Sauce on Twitter. Kai is at RTP Kai, and Dylan is at Such a Wise Fool. We'll see you next time.